Last story for the day. I just want to do a quick one because I gotta bounce. We're gonna talk about up like Donald Trump. Like nunchucks. She gonna chew you up. Check like she from Russia. So Donald Trump, Uncle Trump, he has been found guilty. They lay the hand on him, man. They gave him the hand of the law. And yeah, he's been guilty of 36 counts of fraud, of hiding things, of tax evasion, of what, of being orange, funny hair. Like that. They got the nigga, bro. He's got so many charges. So we're gonna watch this news quickly announcement on it, and yeah, I'll see what that does. For me, my question is just like, so does that mean if he's found guilty, is obviously then going to be an ex-con? Like, does that mean he can't be president? He can't run for president? You know what I mean? Because like same thing happened with Zoom, type of. So I don't think they're going to let a convict run for president. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
History this week, probably not in the way you want it to go. The former president convicted of felony crimes in a New York courtroom. A jury finding him guilty of 34 felony charges of falsifying business records to hide a $130,000 payment of hush money to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Those charges are Class E felonies, the lowest tier in New York State. Mr. Trump denounced the conviction while President Trump praised the rule of law, saying that no one is above the law.
Because everybody saw it was a rigged deal. It was a rigged trial. But we're going to make America great again. We're going to make it better than ever before. November 5th, remember, November 5th is the most important day in the history of our country.
Not only be given the opportunity as he should, to appeal that decision just like everyone else has that opportunity. That's how the American system of justice works.
Well, the case was brought by Manhattan District Attorney.
Come to here. Trump. Up like Donald Trump, man. Nigga's too lit.
Bragg. This was Bragg's response to the conviction.
And while this defendant may be unlike any other in American history,
so this is the district attorney. So this is the one that pretty much prosecuted him.
At this trial, and ultimately today at this verdict, in the same manner as every other case that comes through the courtroom doors, by following the facts and the law, and doing so without fear or favor.
Okay, so now Judge Juan Merchan will decide Trump's sentencing in July, specifically July 11th. Each felony conviction punishable by up to 4 years in prison. Many people say it is unlikely that Trump will get prison time. For more on the next steps in this case, we want to welcome back in friend of the show, Mushtaq Gunda. He is a law professor over at Georgetown and a former federal prosecutor. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
You and I were conversing this week while going on. You had a feeling of the way this headed. Talk to me about the timing of this jury. I think it was just about 12 hours they had this case. Does that tell you right there that they had made up their mind and they were maybe circling back and make that final decision?
Oh, interesting. No, I think maybe just the opposite. I was listening to D.A. Bragg there, a video clip, and one of the things that struck me over the last maybe 3-4 days is how regularly this jury process sort of went. The questions that the jury had for the judge, the ways in which they asked for the instructions, the length of time, all is about what one would expect from a regular sort of 7-week trial. A day and a half of deliberations, pretty typical.
My heart goes out to all of you who are legal analysts who have to talk about this while it was going on. We are essentially Neil Armstrong on the moon here right now because this has never happened before. So, a lot of the subjective guesses about what's going to happen are just that right now. But what can you tell us, if Donald Trump had not been a former president of the United States, what would he really be facing right now?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a hard question for a couple of reasons. I think if he weren't the former president, he probably wouldn't be in this position. But primarily because most people that are facing these sorts of charges likely would have pleaded guilty in the first place. And so, to be in this position on these facts is a little bit unusual.
One of the things we're hearing from Trump camp right now is that they are looking to appeal this. That's not a surprise. However, one of the things they're specifically talking about, not that they just didn't like the verdict, but that you had, Alvin Bragg, a Manhattan district attorney, basically charging on federal election law. Right. How common is that? Is it possible for a local prosecutor to prosecute federal law?
Yeah, unusual, it's not unprecedented, but it's unusual for this to occur. And so I think that President Trump has some grounds for appeal there that are plausible. I expect that he will appeal on those grounds, and then also some grounds on some evidentiary rulings.
So how much of a house of cards is this? There's 34 counts he was convicted of. Could the whole thing fall down, or are we just talking about some of the counts?
No, the 34 counts are basically the same count 34 times over. Some falsifying of the business records and the payments to Michael Cohen and then Stormy Daniels.
So it's pretty much falsifying. It's count 1, falsifying page 1. Count 2, falsifying page 2. So it's like it's not 34 different counts of it. It's like 34 of the same shit. Just man.
So if one falls, they are all likely to fall. The question is how strong will those arguments be?
And then the question naturally is what then after that? Would Bragg, theoretically bring these charges again, whittled out in the version that the appeals court maybe had found?
It depends a lot on what the appeals court finds. There are ways in which the appeals court can dismiss the case with what is called prejudice, which would not allow the district attorney to refile these charges, there's a way in which he might be able to, if President Trump were to win.
All right, so what happens between now and July 11th, the sentencing date? Are there going to be parole hearings? Does he have to meet with a probation officer? What goes on?
That's right, yes. So he will have to meet with the probation service. There will be a probation report that comes out and a recommendation from that office to the judge about what the sentence should be. And, we'll see. And I think there's a range of possibilities from jail time on the one hand to probation on the other, and maybe a couple things in between.
That's remarkable.
Interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really think he's going to serve jail time. Let's be honest, man. It's Donald Trump, bro. We know America, how it is. If you got money, you'll be out of that jail. Don't worry. So he's probably going to get probation, if we're being honest. Maybe even a fine. Who knows? No, not a fine. Because it's felony charges, so you can't just get a fine. So, yeah, it's probably going to get probation. Interesting. Sorry, Trumpo, but he didn't ask whether he can still run for president. So can he still run for president or what? Like, it's interesting. I don't know. Maybe if you're an American, you're watching this, comment down below. Can he still run for president? But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to drop it there. As usual, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, share your comments, all of that. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video for sure. It's your boy, Yes Sir Said.